threats.
Slap him in the face, you know.
Mate, if I got what it takes.
Anger.
Don't, sir, don't.
Desperation.
Dad, I need to find Tony Graham within 5 minutes.
What happens when debt
I'm not even paying a penny of it.
tracks you down?
Don't open the gates, mate. We'll force entry.
Up and down the UK,
Somebody come to the door, please.
we see Britain's most resilient High Court enforcement agents
We need immediate police assistance.
dealing with every debtor's worst nightmare.
Our wake-up call most people want.
Because if you can't pay,
Doesn't have a penny, doesn't own anything.
they'll take it away. Recent research from a leading motoring organisation estimates that the number of tickets issued by private parking companies over the first quarter of the current financial year has risen by nearly 700,000. Over the past 12 months, nearly 25,000 people contacted a leading advisory body to seek help with debts arising from parking fines. High Court enforcement agents Matt Highway and Gary Ball are in Wolverhampton, West Midlands, chasing over £2,000 owed in unpaid parking fines.
Who's next then, bud?
We've got next Mr. Radak Holland, and it's one of these accumulated parking fines, like £2,312.44. It's quite a lot of parking fines, isn't it?
Mr. Holan received the fines after parking in a private car park without displaying a valid ticket.
Wolverhampton Road East.
The parking company escalated the case to the High Court. Now the agents are here to collect payment in full or seize goods to offset the debt today.
Hello? Hiya, madam, you all right?
Yeah?
We're looking for a Radak Holan.
You just live here?
Don't know him at all. My name's Gary Ball, I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
Yeah.
You've never heard of this gentleman, no?
No.
Do you have a tenancy agreement or a council tax bill?
You know, you have to wait for my mother-in-law. She can come with me.
How long?
She's just gone to the shop. She's got the agreement.
All right, we'll wait for her then.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Despite the woman's claims, the agents know that Radek Holan is on the electoral roll at this address, so they had the right to investigate further.
Where are you originally from?
Check.
Czech Republic.
Whilst the agents wait for the woman's relative to arrive, Gary looks for evidence that the debtor does in fact live here. And he immediately spots something.
Close enough, innit?
The utility bill and medicine box are in the name of Radek Holan, the defendant.
Did you tell us that you'd never heard of this gentleman?
No.
Radak Holland?
No.
No? Why is his tablets in the front room? These belong to the person we're looking for?
It seems that Radek does live here after all. Just then, the woman's mother-in-law arrives home.
Hello, madam. How are you?
Hello.
You okay?
Don't want to speak to you, mate.
Trying to introduce myself, but she's not listening. Hello there. Hello, how are you? You okay? So we're here with a High Court writ today for Mr. Radak Holland.
It's my son, I know he has staying
Is your son?
Yes.
Okay, could you give him a call for us? We need to speak to him.
No, stay here, England. He's
Right.
going for Czech Republic.
So he's in the Czech Republic
Yes.
at the moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got wife there.
He's got a wife there?
Yes.
Yeah. But he'll have a phone, won't he?
Co to říká? Telefon.
The debtor's mother gets Radek on the phone.
Musela jsem si volat. Ale tady jméno, naší prášky jméno. Moje, čekaj na peníze. Jo, nemám.
There's no offer of payment from Radek. but the agents have the right to remove any goods of value belonging to him in his absence. They start an inventory, but then another man appears.
Hello, sir. How are you? Is your English okay? You understand me? You understand me, okay?
Yes. I live in this side, yeah.
Oh, you're a neighbour?
Yeah.
The neighbour has come to act as translator.
So we'll be enforcing the writ here at this address today.
I know.
Unless we can get payment from Radak or from somebody on his behalf.
Yeah, I know. No. Which
All right.
name? I don't know. Not
Agreement.
Radak Hallen.
For me, for my uncle, for my son.
Has Radak
Has
he never lived here? Has he never lived here?
No.
No.
Well, he has medication here. So the situation is, I'm happy that this is the correct address. It's really difficult when there's a language barrier. We don't know what the defendant's saying. We don't know what the defendant's saying to other people or what family members are saying to the defendant. Unfortunately, that's always going to be the case because I speak English and Gary speaks Brummie. So, those are the only two languages we have.
Despite the family's protests, the agents have the right to continue their inventory. But the situation is causing tension.
This is me broken, this one now, this me vemu, I
can't speak Czech, I'm sorry.
No.
Do not start pushing me, because you'll be arrested, okay? Do not start pushing me, okay?
With Radek's mother now threatening to destroy assets in the house, Matt and Gary will have to think on their feet to contain this unpredictable situation. Matt Highway and Gary Ball were in Wolverhampton, West Midlands, to recover just over £2,300 owed by Radek Holan for unpaid parking charges.
We're looking for a Radak Holan.
You just live here?
The woman they met said she hadn't heard of Radek, but the agents found evidence to the contrary.
These belong to the person we're looking for?
Then his mother said he was in the Czech Republic and got him on the phone. Radek didn't offer to pay, but when Gary and Matt began to list goods belonging to him, his mother became angry.
Do not start pushing me, because you'll be arrested, okay? Do not start pushing me, okay?
Now Matt must try and make Radek's mother understand his authority. He asks for the neighbours' help.
Could you please explain to the lady that it's a criminal offence to obstruct us in our duty? Okay. If she continues with that, she can be arrested for it, okay? Thank you.
Whilst Gary continues the inventory, Matt urges the family to get the debtor Radek back on the phone to try and get a payment.
Shall we try? Shall we try that? Yeah?
Radek's mother rings her son's mobile again.
Phone is switched off. Please try later.
But he now appears to be out of reach. So Gary and Matt have no other option but to continue to look for assets belonging to him.
Mixing deck.
Mixed deck. Beakers as well.
But then, as Matt goes upstairs to look for assets in Radek's room, his mother calls him into her room.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Teď mi volala sestřenice, že mi půjčuje peníze, že do hodiny mu dám peníze, řekni. Teď mi volala.
I don't understand any of that.
Saying that her cousin just
My
told
cousin.
her that she will borrow her the money.
Teď jsem si...
Lovely.
2,000, how much?
2,312.44. Right. If you want to go and get the money...
This now. Come in.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Maybe for 1 hour, 1 hour.
Be as quick as you can.
With a promise of payment in full, Matt goes downstairs to tell Gary to stop listing goods.
Stop for a minute, mate. She's going to go and collect the money.
Okay.
The woman and the neighbour go to pick up the money a relative has offered them.
Sometimes the best asset that a defendant may have is the family around him. And, that's what's needed to get the matter resolved. They will all rally round to help somebody that's in need. So you'll see mum, brother and sister all helping out to get somebody out of a situation.
An hour later, the woman returns.
Where are we then, sir?
Že jsme sehnali jenom 1000 liber, znamenali víc.
You only got £1,000.
You've only got 1,000.
It seems she's come back with less than half of the money owed.
You've only got 1,000.
But it's still a substantial down payment. So Matt comes up with a solution and asks the neighbour to help explain.
Can you explain for me for a second?
Yes.
Okay. If I take the £1,000 today
Yes.
and then give a period of time,
Yeah.
not weekly, but a period of time to
Yeah.
pay the rest of the money, will that help?
Okay.
Radek's mother pays the agents £1,000 in cash.
1,000.
Okay.
You happy? Good. You happy?
Matt leaves paperwork for Radek, stating he has 4 weeks to pay off the outstanding balance. If he doesn't, the agents will be back to seize his goods.
27 of 5, yeah? Come back.
27th of May, yeah, that's right.
But it seems the family may be hiding something from the agents.
Shall be to move, No.
All right?
Thank you.
So we're all
Thank
done.
you.
It's been a complex case for Matt and Gary.
It's so difficult. It's like having a 10-way conversation just to get the simplest facts across. As soon as we started making a list of goods, they realised that the situation was serious, and yeah, the best way to deal with it is to get it paid on his behalf if he's not here.
Research has shown that young people in the UK are increasingly falling into debt. Almost 2/3 of those who contacted a leading debt charity over the first half of 2017 were aged between 18 and 40. High Court enforcement agent Stuart McCracken and colleague Ian Taylor are in Warrington, Cheshire. They're here to recover just under £1,800 owed to a local veterinary practice.
We're off to see a Miss Amy Benson.
Right.
She's not paid her vet's bill.
The case began when Amy took her dog to a vet after an injury. But she refused to pay the bill as she claimed the dog had been misdiagnosed.
Vet bills usually aren't cheap, are they?
No, but that's what comes with having an animal.
After Amy didn't pay a county court judgment, the case was escalated to the High Court. Now she must pay the money she owes in full today.
Well, I can hear a dog, so... Oh, here we go. Hello there, I'm after Amy.
No, Amy's not in at the moment.
Right, are you able to get her on the phone, my High Court enforcement agent? It's just regarding an outstanding balance.
Okay.
All right.
With the door open, Stuart takes the opportunity to make peaceful entry.
Is it council tax?
No, not council tax. No, it's High Court writ. It's for veterinary practice.
Oh, I'm in court with them now.
It seems that the woman is Amy after all.
Basically, what's happening at the moment is we're to collect a balance. The balance is £1,704. If not, we are instructed to remove goods.
Amy calls her partner for help.
Dean, it's the vet's law. It's the ones that misdiagnosed Papa. They want £1,000 and odd pound off me. But I've already spoke to the head office about that now. I've not had any other letters.
It was a CCJ, so it was a county court judgment. But because that hasn't been paid, they've obviously transferred it to the High Court.
Amy claims that she's appealing the case, but the High Court writ is active and must be enforced today.
Can you give me some time?
I can give you half an hour.
I can't really say no.
If not, we will have to take control of goods. But the problem is, if we do start removing goods, it goes up to £2,335. Then there's £30 a day storage for 7 days.
What about if I can get half of it?
It needs to be the full amount. That's why they've transferred it to the High Court.
None of the cars are mine.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, I've had a car crash on Saturday, so that's some car.
Yeah.
What about the minute? It's my friend's. We won't be able to take it because it's not in my name.
Well, we need your friend to send a receipt over.
We need to see a receipt for it.
But I don't get... You can't say that money. It's definitely not
Yeah,
mine.
but we need to see a receipt for it.
As Amy has already lied about her identity, Stuart and Ian need proof that the Mini isn't hers. And while they wait, they begin an inventory of assets in the house.
The only things that's mine is the table in there, the beds. So you're going to have to... They're going to have to. There's nothing I can do. They're going to have to. There's nothing I can do, Mum. There's nothing at all I can do. I know, but there's nothing I can do. They're going to take the stuff. They're literally listing it now. The TV. Right, do you want to come down then? He's got the... You can't take the telly, love, because it's not mine.
Right, okay. Brilliant, you've got the receipt for it, that's fine. Hiya, mate, you're
Have you got a receipt for the telly?
Yeah. £229 LC.
Brilliant. Right, I'll see that.
Cheers.
It seems that there's very little of any value in the house. Stuart's attention now focuses on the Mini.
She's still claiming that the Minis are friends. It's probably worth about 500 quid, 600 quid. So, just have to wait and see, I suppose.
The value of the Mini would cover about a third of the nearly £1,800 debt. But before he calls recovery, Stuart goes to ask Amy one more time whether she can pay anything today.
What's the best you can do?
200 quid. I'm not even lying, and I can swear to put my kids' lives on it now. I can pay it at a certain date. My mum can lend it me on next Thursday. She gets paid.
Some jobs can be extremely sad. It's heartbreaking in a way once you see what people get themselves into through no fault of their own sometimes, but we can't think like that. We've just got to act with a duty of care and try and execute the rate in the most professional way as possible.
With the situation clearly taking its toll, Amy tries to increase her offer.
I'm not even going to avoid the matter, honest to God, I'm really not. I've got £200 in the bank that I've put set aside for a fridge freezer because it's broke, and I can give you that.
Amy has now doubled her original offer to £400. And her partner's parents have also offered to make up the figure to £600.
How can you make the payment?
It'll be like £400 on card and £200 cash, is that right?
But to stop the Mini being taken, Stuart needs to be sure the balance will be paid.
Can you get it clear by next Thursday?
What, the whole of the amount?
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. How much can you lend me?
I can probably lend you about 5-6. They've got paying rent on it.
Right, I'll try and I'll phone the claim. I've got to phone the claimant. You see, I need to see what they say.
Stuart goes to call the claimant to see if a £600 down payment with a promise to pay the balance within 7 days is acceptable.
Hiya, John.
There's no value in the goods, sir.
The only thing is a 52 plate Mini.
So just to reiterate, that's £600 today, and then the balance on the
next Thursday.
I'd accept that on the premise that the payment's made on the 15th.
Yeah. Cheers, John.
With the offer accepted, Stuart goes to tell Amy the good news.
Yeah, they've accepted that on the premise that it's cleared by next Thursday. How is it you can make that 600?
Then I'll pay 400 off my card. I know there's 403 in.
Yeah.
He's just going to pack out.
Amy's partner leaves to go and fetch the £200 from his parents. Whilst they wait for him to return, Amy is keen to tell her side of the story.
I bought a Yorkshire Terrier a couple of years back, and she was only 8 weeks. She got dropped off a little in shoulder. I rushed her to the emergency vets because she was in pain, and the vets made me aware that she was fine, nothing was broken. They were going to give her painkillers and release her. So I came home. I could see she was in severe pain even with the pain relief. So I took her back to my actual vets, and they made me aware that she had a broken fibula, broken tibia. She needed an ongoing operation, and her foot needed to be casted, as well as a leg. It's not like we've refused to pay something. We've refused to pay something that's not been right.
I think we're a nation of dog lovers. I've got a dog myself, and I'd do anything for him, no matter how much it costs. And when we do get debts that involve animals, I can fully understand why people get themselves into debt, because all you care for is their well-being.
15 minutes later, Amy's partner returns.
Oh, yeah, mate. It's like the 200, is it?
With the £600 down payment made in full, Stuart lists the Mini on a controlled goods agreement, which means that if the balance isn't paid within 7 days, the agents will be back to seize it, unless it's proved it doesn't belong to her.
Just need a quick signature off you, Amy, basically. Just basically means 600 has been paid today, 1,105 to be made by the 15th. I've taken it upon myself to know, just by your judge of character, that you'll get it sorted,
fine.
alright? That's everything that you need, Amy. Take it easy, Amy. Bye. See you later.
It's been a tricky case to resolve.
Every now and then you come across a young, working hard family that are just struggling. I just hope by next Thursday they can get it clear, because we will have to come back.
Stuart and Ian got the best result they could against the odds. But in Max and Paul's next case, an ex-City high flyer
Look at me, I'm shocked about this.
is forced to face reality.
At the end of the day, we are commanded by the High Court to seize goods if we can't raise the payment.
I'm not making a phone call to my dad unless it's too embarrassing.
Recent research has shown that owners of small and medium-sized businesses in the UK are coming under increasing financial pressure. Nearly a fifth of company owners resort to their own private savings to keep their businesses afloat, while almost 20% are missing paydays to make ends meet. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bohill and Max Caraher are in Docklands, East London. They have a writ to collect a debt of £5,000 owed by businessman Stephen Leary.
We're off to see Stephen Leary, and we're looking to collect £5,313.45.
The agents don't yet know exactly what the debt is for, but they've carried out some background research on the debtor.
There's an interesting note here, Paul. He's been disqualified under the Company Directors Disqualification Act.
The information suggests that the debt may be connected to a business venture gone wrong. And the research has also thrown up details of the car Mr. Leary owns.
The Mercedes estate. That's our defendant's vehicle. Shall I do the honours?
Max goes to clamp the Mercedes in the hope that the prospect of it being removed will prompt a swift payment.
It's a knock and a half, you practice that. Yeah.
Mr. Leary.
Hello. Hello, sir. My name's Max Caraher. This is my colleague Paul Bohill. We've got a High Court writ for you. Do you know about this matter?
No, what's this?
It's in regards to unpaid money that you owe £5,313.45.
Sorry, have a look.
You're welcome to see it. There's the writs on the back page.
5,000 for what was this?
The procedure at the moment is if we can't collect payment, we need to remove goods. We don't want it to get to that at all.
You seized your car.
What car?
The Mercedes.
Are you joking?
No.
You sure you don't know anything about it?
I don't know anything about this at all. I've checked my record, my credit check, and nothing's ever come up on this.
The frustrations of collecting debt, to me, are the actual time involved in, first and foremost, is getting down to the nuts and bolts of whether they know about the debt, which the courts have decided. All the notifications have been sent out. There is nothing that we can do.
As Mr. Leary's ignorance of the debt is holding the enforcement process up, Paul needs to help him focus.
The only wrinkle in this is if you've been barred as a director. Because if you're barred as a director, it could well go back to that.
I've been, yeah, but that was ages ago.
I know, but why was that?
It was a carbon trading company.
Right.
But what's that got to do with that?
No, but we're just trying to get to why this writ is against you, and you appear to know nothing about it.
It seems that Paul's line of questioning may have hit a nerve.
I got disqualified as a director.
Okay.
Because the sales element to obviously selling the carbon credits was deemed that it was a mis-selling. So the whole market basically crashed.
Right.
So that was what it was.
It appears that 3 years ago, Mr. Leary was part of a company that was involved in the mis-selling of assets on the stock market. As a result, the government disqualified him from holding company directorships for 14 years.
I tried to make an appeal. Okay. I got the ban, so it was harsh, but I got the ban, especially when I'm a director. They don't give a shit about that.
It looks like Mr. Leary was going to appeal against the government's decision, but he decided to drop the case. But as the official department concerned had already paid for lawyers to fight the appeal, they took Mr. Leary to court to recover their costs.
The costs of the appeal costs?
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. But why make my solicitor notify me on that? I'm fucking fuming about it.
You paid your solicitor?
Yeah, I paid him. I paid him 1,200 quid on account, and then he said they might come back with time.
Yeah.
So they've obviously paid. But I said, well, look, you didn't tell me that at the start. He says, okay, I'll deal with it. And that was it. And I didn't hear anything else about it.
Mr. Leary gets his solicitor on the phone.
Hi, Robert. Miss Stephen, how you doing? I've had better days. The last record of events we had was they was asking for me to pay, or the solicitors to pay, the actual time that they put into the appeal, yeah, which was a couple of grand at the time. And I said, well, look, Robert, that's we have to obviously speak to them about it. I can't cover all this, Robert. It's not fair. So I've not received any correspondence because I thought you were directly dealing with them. So tell me what the last correspondence is you got.
We sent a letter to the court. I haven't got anything since then.
Remember you said any communication from now on goes through me, as in you. Do you remember that?
Stephen, what do you want me to do?
It appears that Mr. Leary's solicitor was unaware of any action to recover court costs connected to the appeal. And now Mr. Leary continues to insist he didn't receive any correspondence about the case either.
According to our paperwork, a letter was sent to this address now on the 1st of the 6th, 2017.
That is impossible. That is impossible.
I'm reading off of the paperwork that we get issued.
But do you honestly think I would let it come down to this day if I didn't actually get that letter? I've never received any letters. That's the only correspondence I would have received.
Because we are the end of the chain.
Yeah, I know you are. I want to let it get to
this
point. Look at me, I'm shocked about all this.
There's two possibilities here. You're in complete shock or you're a really good actor.
Despite Mr. Leary's protests, the agents are duty-bound to get the case resolved one way or another.
We've clamped your car, and if we remove the car, that's going to add to the bill, and we'll look around your flat and see if there's anything of value.
Well, you can't do that, surely. You have to get
we can.
Lawfully,
I know lawfully you can.
Yeah, it's not what we want to do, but
this is like... I'll have to lend this money if it's actually genuine. Sure. I haven't got no money in my bank account, huh?
Okay, but at the end of the day, we are commanded by the High Court to seize goods if we can't raise the payment.
You can't take goods out of my flat, honestly. I can lend the money. If
my advice is...
Take the car, sure. But the car's worth about $4,000 as it is.
Not to us at trade value, I'm afraid. We're looking at about $1,200 for the car, which is why we don't want to take it. If you could have Plan B ready of somebody who can cover this bill for you.
I'm not making a phone call to my dad unless it's too embarrassing.
Enforcing a writ against somebody can be very embarrassing for them, and I do understand this. Employers could find out about it, your family could. You may have to resort to calling people who you really don't want to use as your last lifeline.
The agents have now been in the flat for over an hour, and Mr. Leary still hasn't made any attempt to raise the £5,000 he owes. Max has to make it clear what will happen if they have to remove goods.
That's the balance that's owed now, £5,313.45. If indeed we do have to remove goods, it does go to...
No, I'll go.
60.
I can make a call. Yeah. I haven't got it in my bank account, but I've got family that can do it.
That's absolutely fine. may I suggest getting the ball rolling?
Realising that the debt could increase if he doesn't face it head-on, Mr. Leary reluctantly calls his father.
I'm so sorry, Dad. This is so embarrassing. It seemed genuine. I've seen the higher court order, but I've not received one fucking letter through the door. Otherwise, I would never allow it to get to this.
Mr. Leary's father agrees to pay off his son's debt in full.
What's your school, Steve?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. Is this Steve? I believe you are going to help your son out. Brilliant. I'll pass you back over. Thanks very much for that, sir.
Thanks to Mr. Leary's father, the case is finally resolved.
Yeah, thanks for your time, Leary. Especially on the training, chaps.
That's all right. Stephen, sorry we had to meet like this. We'll leave you to it. Take care, Stephen. Thanks very much. Justice has been served.
Yes, I feel good about that. I'm now walking tall.
More than 300,000 people contacted a leading debt charity over the first half of 2017 to seek help with their debts. The charity's figures show that the number of people falling behind on debt repayments has nearly doubled since the beginning of the decade. "6 a.m. High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are on their way to West Derby, Merseyside, on a revisit to collect over £10,000 owed in unpaid parking fines.
Right, Stuart, you're taking me back to one of your cases.
Yes.
Why are you taking me back?
Me and Ian went 2 weeks ago. There was nobody in.
Unusually, the agents have two writs for the same address.
The claimant's the same, but for two different people.
Two different...
And from what I know, it's parking.
One of the writs is for Mrs. Ron Key, and another for Mrs. Key Wei Ning, both members of the same family, who between them have racked up one of the largest parking fine debts the agents have ever seen.
The one outstanding balance is £5,078, and the other one is £5,759.
On arrival, Stuart spots two Mercedes parked outside the house.
The 57 plate is the one that me and Ian saw the other week.
The red and blue Mercedes are the cars that the fines were accrued in.
Do you want to knock on?
Yeah, I'll do that, mate.
Immediately, Stuart decides to clamp the cars, as they could be valuable leverage if no offer of payment is made.
It's all about finding a trigger point. It makes people actually take it seriously when we've taken control of something that they don't want to lose. It could be various goods, it could be one particular item that they don't want us to take.
Stuart and Vic are hoping that with an early morning visit, they'll find both the debtors at home.
Wakey wakey, eggs and bakey.
It's not the loudest doorbell. Not even a curtain.
Despite the early hour, no one is coming to the door.
So we're just going to have to wait, aren't we? Nothing much else we can do.
Yeah.
But the agents suspect that someone is at home.
So we're waiting in the van for a bit. So they can see we're not going anywhere.
While they wait, Stuart spots a new email from the office on his phone.
Jackie Lamb called, spoke to Jackie Client, said that the son is the person who's got the PCNs.
It seems that a man, Jackie Lamb, has called the office to say that he incurred the parking fines in his grandmother's and his mother's cars.
I spoke to debtor and okay to talk to him about the case.
It appears that Mr. Lamb now wants to take full responsibility for the fines and get the case resolved.
There's someone here.
Let's go, let's have a chat with him.
And it seems he might be at home.
Morning. My name is Mr. Victor. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. We've got two writs here, right?
How much do we remain?
Well, the one balance is £5,759 and the other balance is £5,078.
I think the most I can do is probably about one or two, right?
£200 not going to pay it, right? The debt is over £10,000.
As Mr. Lamb's offer doesn't even scratch the surface of the £10,000 owed, the agents have to make it clear that both the cars are at risk of being seized.
Both cars are registered to each defendant.
They will go into storage for 7 days, and then after the 7 days, if they get sold at auction, whatever they fetch for will go towards the debt.
But as the cars are likely to only fetch a third of the total amount owed, the agents decide that they need to look inside the house for other assets to seize.
We're taking control of goods inside the property as well, you understand that? It's not just going to be the vehicles.
Can't you just take the cars to that?
No, it's not going to clear the debt. Because unfortunately it's come to this now, so this is the end of the road.
Mr. Lamb's mother, Mrs. Ning, has overheard the conversation.
You can't get this, this is not this.
Yes, I can. I've got a High Court writ in both names at this property. So if we go through the property, we'll look at the rest of the stuff. Because the cars won't clear the debt.
The car is not, 现张切了饼地也来。
Despite Mrs. Ning's protests, the agents are duty-bound to search the house for other assets to seize, along with the cars.
This TV is broken. It's everything broken. This is.
But it soon becomes clear there aren't enough high-value assets to cover the rest of the debt.
The goods here won't clear it.
啥没有啊？
The goods.
咁多付都唔夠 cover， 等好都得。
You can't raise any money today.
咩啊？ Not today. It's even in the future. I have no money because now I have no money. I guess I can't give any money.
With payment looking unlikely and not enough assets to cover the £10,000 owed, it looks like the agents have reached a dead end. Stuart and Vic will have to think on their feet to get this case resolved. Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor were in West Derby, Merseyside, to recover over £10,000 in unpaid parking fines.
The claimant's the same, but for two different people.
Nobody appeared to be in.
It's not the loudest doorbell.
Then Stuart discovered that the fines had been racked up by the son of the family, Jackie Lamb, in his relatives' cars.
Can't you just take the cars to that?
No, it's not going to clear the debt.
But it soon became apparent the family couldn't afford to pay.
I have no money because now I have no money. I guess I can't give any money.
Now, Mr. Lamb wants to tell the agents more about how he managed to accrue thousands of pounds worth of parking fines.
I was parking behind my shop here, so I was unloading and loading there. So why should I be allowed to do that? I still need to have access to my shop, and if it's on the high street, I can't load it.
It seems that Mr. Lamb ran up the fines loading goods on a stretch of private land outside the family shop.
I understand your side of it. It's like, look, you need to unload and load, don't you? I understand that. That's something you need to speak to the landlord about. I don't think the younger generation understand the consequences of not paying fines. They just think it'll go away, it's never going to happen to me, they're never going to chase me. And the problem is, if you keep on doing it, it's going to cost you more money in the long term rather than dealing with the matter there and then.
The agents have now been at the house for over an hour. With no improvement on Jackie's original £200 offer, it looks like all Stuart and Vic can do is to seize the cars outside. Stuart goes to check them out again.
We've had a look around the house. There's nothing much really of value apart from the two vehicles. It's a shame, really, but at the end of the day, if you can't pay your rent, then we'll have to take control of goods.
But then a call comes through.
Right, okay. Cheers, bye-bye. Red one's on finance.
With the red Mercedes out of bounds, the agents are now left with just one vehicle. But as its value at auction is less than £1,000 after removal and storage costs have been deducted, Vic asks the family again whether they can pay any more today.
Can you pay £1,000 today?
No. I hope I can have £1,000.
She said 200 today, which is literally all the cash we have.
Okay.
And then 150 everything.
In some cases, it's It's pretty straightforward, unfortunately. There's not much you can do. You can't take blood from the old saying, you can't take blood from a stone. But some cases we'll work it as hard as we can, for as long as we can. But at the end of the day, if there's no money, no funds, it's just a dead end.
The agents have now been at the house for an hour and a half. With no chance of any more money being offered today, Stuart and Vic's only option is to set up an affordable payment plan.
Let's see if they can afford what they can afford monthly.
Yeah, go on.
What can you pay monthly?
Max is 100 and 150 max. I can't pay over 150.
150 per month. Right, so if we say 200 today and then 150 per month, yeah? But that blue milk will still have to go, so we'll put it to the claimant.
I'll give them a ring.
Stuart calls the office to see whether the family's offer of the car plus £200 today, together with a repayment plan, is acceptable to the claimant.
Hiya, John, you alright? They can pay £200 today, then £150 a month. Cheers, John.
The offer has been accepted.
So we're trying to give you a bit of a lifeline here.
或者你而家佢就去藍色車就會走，黃色車因為係翻藍，所以你攞唔走。佢哋佢今日唔攞你鋼琴，唔攞你雪櫃，唔攞你嗰啲乜嘢。我今日你俾200磅，之後每個月150。When does the payment start? I'm guessing 200 today.
200 today, 150 per month.
Yeah.
Mr. Lamb pays the £200 down payment.
I'll just count that out while we're here.
Moments later, the recovery truck arrives to take away the blue Mercedes.
The vehicle's going to get removed now. It's stored for 7 days at an auction house.
The case is resolved for now. But if the repayment plan isn't stuck to, the agents will be back.
The moral of the story is, Vic, pay your parking fines.
If you don't pay, we'll take it away.
Can't Pay is back new next Thursday at 9. Think that insurance deal is too good to be true? Well, it might be the work of a ghost broker. Paul Connolly's undercover hunting down the scammers and nailing the fraudsters. Brand new and next.
Threats.
Slap me in the face, you know.
Mate, if I got what it takes. Anger.
Don't, sir, don't.
Desperation.
I'm going to pull my back out.
What happens when debt
I know my rights. Do not
calm yourself down.
tracks you down?
I'm not even paying a penny of it.
Up and down the UK.
Oh, you can't take mine. Don't be taking my equipment.
We see Britain's most resilient High Court enforcement agents.
I can't believe that's been in it.
Dealing with every debtor's worst nightmare.
Today is actually my birthday.
Because if you can't pay,
Sorry, it's not my fault.
they'll take it away. A recent survey shows that UK high streets are coming under increasing financial pressure. A quarter of all small retailers cite high business rates as one of their biggest challenges. Some high street shops face rises of up to 150%, and many fear being pushed out of business altogether. High Court enforcement agents Steve Pinner and Max Caraher are in Kingsbury, North London, to recover a debt of almost £2,000 owed by the owner of a bridal wear shop.
We're off to see Mr. Ali Amin trading as Sultana Fashion, and we're looking to collect £1,910.22.
You said it's Sultana Fashions?
Yeah.
Is that their current address?
I think this is a wedding dress shop. There it is.
Sultana Fashions owes the money to a company who negotiate lower business rates for retailers. Dissatisfied with their services, shop owner Ali Amin refused to pay the company's full fees.
Right, Steve, let's go and see Sultana Fashion.
Mr. Amin was taken to court and lost the case. Now he must pay the £1,910 debt in full today.
Hello, madam. Do you work here?
Yes.
Hello, sir. Are you Ali?
No.
Sir, my name's Max Caraher. I'm an enforcement agent here with a High Court writ.
Yes.
We're here for Ali Amin.
He's not here.
Where is he, sir?
He's not here.
Yeah, where is he, sir?
He's not here.
Could you get him on the phone for me, please?
No, we can't.
Why can't you do that, sir?
What's the problem?
We've got a High Court writ. What's your name, sir?
Ali Amin.
You're Ali? Okay,
No,
excellent.
I'm not.
Oh.
Ali's dad.
You're Ali's dad?
Yes.
Okay.
But Max is suspicious. As the business is named on the writ, and as the agents believe that this is the Ali Amin they're looking for, they have every right to continue enforcement.
What's this?
What's that? That's the debt?
What do you want now?
I want £1,910
We
and
haven't-
22 pence.
we
Okay.
haven't. Let me explain you something.
You explain to me something.
This is a cheating people.
Who is?
Yeah, this is the company.
Mr. Amin now appears to be taking full responsibility for the debt and is keen to tell Max his side of the story.
I received a call from this company and we give you offer to reduce your
Business rates.
business rate.
Okay.
He said, yes, we can offer you less business rate. I said, it's good. I said, look, I can't pay any money in advance. No. He said, we don't need money. We need just £71 in advance. What he said, I will give you email now. Please just sign that document for me. After 3 weeks, he said £700. What £700 for what? He said, because already we signed agreement and you must pay this money for us. It's cheating.
I understand that, but what a court will see
Yeah.
is that you signed the paperwork.
The company's final fee was more than the amount Mr. Amin was expecting, but the courts ruled that he was contractually obliged to pay.
It was fixed fee, signed agreement on the fixed fee.
Yeah.
Got to be so careful what you sign, Mr. Amin. How long have you been open in this place here?
Nearly 1 year.
Is business good?
Not good.
Is the profit margins in wedding dresses low?
No, it's because it's selling, it's not good. It's wrong area. We have many problems. Believe me, until the end of the month, we can't pay the rent.
When you're listening to people on how they get into debt, you do, on some occasions, actually feel sorry for them, and you think to yourself, that could be any one of us in that same position.
It's clear that the business has fallen on hard times, but Max and Steve are duty-bound to enforce this writ one way or another.
Have you got any family, any friends who can help at all?
Nobody can help free.
Nobody can help you. Have you got anything you can put towards the debt? I just have to ask.
Let me
Just
ask my
check.
wife how much we have. جددنا فلوس كاش.
How many I have?
We can pay 260 now.
I don't know if they'll accept
We have
it.
this amount.
I can only ask.
Max calls the office to see if the claimant will accept Mr. Amin's offer of a down payment of £260.
Sorry, Helen, I'm with one of the gentlemen now.
Our clients will not accept any part payment or arrangements on this case. The case needs to be paid in full. Failure to do so will result in sorting out recovery to remove goods.
Lovely.
Cheers,
Thanks ever so much. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
It's not good news.
That will be removal of goods
Yeah.
for sale at public auction.
Okay. If we haven't
If you haven't what?
Take it.
You want us to take it?
Yeah.
What's the total value of these racks of clothing?
Well, maybe 80,000.
80,000?
Yeah. If I told you I haven't this money, what you will do? You will take goods? Take goods.
The retail value of the dresses may be £80,000, but at auction they would fetch only a fraction of that amount. So the agents would have to clear a substantial amount of stock. But as Max starts an inventory, he spots something.
This is all expensive aftershave. How are they paid for?
I don't know, mister.
You don't know how they're paid for? So that's £152 for that. Hundreds of pounds for this.
The perfumes and watches would be easier to remove than a large quantity of dresses. But Mr. Amin has other ideas.
Who does it belong to? Who does it belong to?
To suppliers.
Have you got all the receipts? Because this is hundreds of pounds worth of stock. Okay.
This is belong to me.
Yes.
This is not belong to me.
That's why I've asked for a receipt, because it's in your shop. It's reasonable of me to assume that it may belong to you.
We can't.
Okay.
You
If that
can't
is the
take the
case,
goods if you like.
I can.
Yeah.
What's the point in that? What's the point in that?
This is. Look.
Yes.
I work
Sir,
very
when
hard.
you shout at me and point at my face, I'm not going to communicate with you. I said I'll look round at the assets. I'm looking round at all the assets.
I'm not stolen this to give to the cheating people. I'm not.
Sir, you're shouting. Right, don't shout at me.
Well.
Okay.
Sir,
what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start removing
goods. No, you
goods.
told me story. Now you do another thing. Please come inside.
No.
We can't discuss.
Sir,
we have a client outside. We have people as well.
Are you going to pay the 1,000? Sir, please don't shout at me. Are you going to pay? Are you going to pay the £1,910.22?
With Mr. Amin turning his outrage over the debt against the agents, the case has taken an ugly turn. It will take all of Steve and Max's negotiating skills to get the £1,900 they came for. Max Caraher and Steve Pinner were in North London to collect a debt of nearly £2,000 owed by a wedding shop owner to a business rates consultancy.
Hello, sir. Are you Ali?
No.
The man they met at first denied he was the shop owner.
He's not here.
And then disputed the debt.
This is a cheating people.
Who is?
Yeah, this is the company.
When Max started to make an inventory, he found some valuable assets.
Hundreds of pounds for this.
But then Mr. Amin started to lose control.
I'm not stolen this to give to the cheating people. I'm not.
Sir, you're shouting. Right, don't shout at me, okay?
Now, with no proof that the expensive perfumes don't belong to Mr. Amin, Max adds them to the inventory. But as their value won't cover all of the £1,910 debt, the agents will have to remove some of Mr. Amin's bridal stock as well. But before they call recovery, Max wants to make it clear that taking goods will incur extra fees.
The balance goes up from £1,910 to £2,540. This is because we have to get a van and staff down to remove the goods.
You're fucking the people.
Sorry?
You're fucking the people.
Me personally?
No, everything.
It's not
because
me.
You protect the cheating people.
Who does?
You and the court.
I have to look after the interest of the client. So I'll ask you this final time, sir. Can you make the payment of £1,910?
This amount we can't.
Okay. In that case, sir, you will leave me with absolutely no choice but to escalate the case to the removal stage. When people are wrapped up in the dispute that's ongoing, it is difficult for us because I need to convince him that he needs to see it my way, and that's a tremendous ask.
The agents have now been in the shop for over an hour. With no new offer to settle the debt, Max has no choice but to call for a recovery vehicle.
How are you doing today for work? Brilliant. Right, it's a wedding dress shop. Brilliant, mate. NW9, immediately roll out for me, please, my friend.
Steve goes to tell Mr. Amin that a van is on its way.
The vans have all been organised.
It's nothing is organised.
It is. He's been on the phone to the vans. It's now. Wait.
Cancel the van. Cancel the van.
When you pay, sir, I can cancel the van.
This is not fair. Because we are...
Don't.
Careful.
We are people.
Don't. I'm not. When you're going to behave like this, okay? I feel very threatened. Behave.
You understand?
No.
We are work very hard.
When you're punching
You
things,
now-
unacceptable behaviour, sir.
Because you are unfair.
I'm not unfair.
Yeah, you are
I'm
unfair.
very fair.
With the business now at serious risk, Mr. Amin's wife leaves to try and raise some funds.
I feel pain to that people cheating me.
I understand.
People do tend to go through a cycle with their emotions. Obviously, the first thing they do is they see us, they're angry because we're at the door. And once you resolve that issue, you then get the emotions of what they can and can't do. So it is a step-by-step process.
A few minutes later, Mrs. Amin returns.
Now I have 2,000. Take it.
Together with their original offer of £260, Mr. and Mrs. Amin are now only £300 short of the full amount they owe.
Right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make a phone call, but it's out of my hands what the decision is. I will call.
Do the best.
Max goes to call the office.
Let me just step out of this shop. Give me 1 sec. Right, Helen, the option is either removal or take the 260 and tell them they got 28 days to pay. So they want a full removal. No worries. Cheers. Bye.
The claimant rejects the offer. Max goes to break the bad news.
And World War III starts. Right, I won't beat around the bush. The client has refused the offer. The client wants a removal of goods done. They will take control of the stock.
How much now they want?
The full balance. The 2005.
2,500?
Yes.
yeah.
let جادلي
مقلل.
خلص
Mrs. Amin leaves for a second time to try and find the rest of the money. Just as a removal van arrives at the back of the shop.
I'll speak to the drivers. Yeah, this is the back of the shop, mate.
But almost immediately, Mrs. Amin returns.
Max, 1 minute. I think they're going to pay it all.
It seems like she's managed to raise the balance needed to stop the removal.
Come on, please. This is a dirty money you collected.
2,540, 22p.
Yeah, because it's justice must be 22p.
I got to give you the change. I have to. I have to.
Yeah, you have.
Because
bring it.
Because like you, I am an honest person. Okay.
With the debt now paid off in full, the recovery van is released.
Go from this door, please.
Take care.
It's been a trying case for the agents.
That was really, really hard work, wasn't it?
Gotta read what you sign.
In 2016, nearly 80,000 county court judgments were issued against businesses in England and Wales. The average value exceeded £3,500, while the total value reached almost £280 million. High Court enforcement agents Gary Brown and trainee Connor Jackson are in East Molesey, southwest London. They're here to collect a debt of almost £11,500 owed by a small business.
We're going to go and see GHG Organisation Limited.
What sort of company is it?
Their website says they work in like renewable energy systems.
Okay.
I think you would imagine that
they'd have assets.
But the address on the writ appears to be residential and not commercial. So the agents suspect this could be the home of company director Abbas Kadar.
Interested to know whose that car is, though, that Volvo?
Yes.
If the Volvo belongs to the debtor company, it could be seized to offset the debt if no offer of payment is made.
It's quite a nice house, that's quite a big house. Anybody in there?
Hello there.
Hi.
Can I come and speak to you? So, My name's Gary Brown. I'm an enforcement agent. It's my colleague Connor Jackson. I'm basically here with a High Court writ against GHG Organisation Limited.
Yeah.
Is that yourself? Is that your company?
No.
It's not.
We are a firm of accountants.
Okay.
GHG
They're one of your clients,
One
are
of
they?
my clients.
Okay. Can I see confirmation of that, please?
What confirmation?
Confirmation that you're not GHG.
All right. Can you go out and I'll get you.
Okay, I'm going to wait inside the property until I've had that proof, okay?
I'm not happy about this, sir.
You may not be happy, sir, but that's the way it is, I'm afraid.
It appears that the debtor company has used their accountant's address as their registered office. It's common business practice to do this for the purpose of receiving mail, but Gary needs to see proof that he isn't the debtor they're looking for.
Regarding this visit, I just need to be satisfied that you are not...
If you leave the house, I will
I'm not going to leave the house.
In that case, I'm not providing anything. You cannot...
Then I'll look around the house.
No, you cannot.
Sir,
no.
don't touch me.
No.
Don't touch me.
No. Leave this house.
I'm not leaving the house.
I said I will provide the proof.
Then provide the proof and make things easier.
Stay there.
Sir, don't try and close doors on me. Okay? You're not helping the situation by acting the way you are. Hello there.
Police.
Hi. Have you permission to enter people's premises?
We don't need permission.
I asked you to go back there. Why won't you go back there?
Because you tried to close the door on me.
I have to go in there to get some stuff. I don't know what will
Then please
happen.
do that. When somebody's asking you to leave and they don't want you looking around and they're just causing you problems, it's usually for one reason, and that's because there's something to hide.
Despite the man's defensiveness, Gary and Connor won't leave until they're sure he isn't Abbas Kadar.
What's your name? Can I see your ID, please, just to prove that you're not the director of the company we're looking for? Driver's license, passport would be brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, it's not him.
The man, Mr. Burge, isn't the debtor after all, but his behaviour has raised the agent's suspicions that there's more to this story than meets the eye.
So you've got my proof. What else do you want now?
Proof that they're not trading from his
Do you
ticket.
understand what a registered office is?
I do. It's usually an accountant's, but sometimes those accountants double up as trading addresses.
But as Mr. Burge goes into his office to find paperwork, Gary spots a figure behind the glass.
Excuse me, have you got some ID as well, please, sir?
No, sorry.
You haven't got any ID?
No.
I find that hard to believe. What's your name? What's your name, please? Do you want to talk to me?
Sorry?
Do you want to talk to me? What reason have you got to not to talk to me?
Come on, sir, this is my office. Do you mind?
I'm asking this gentleman some questions.
It's up to him to...
But what reason would he have not to talk to me?
I don't know, sir.
I just need to be satisfied who you are, that's all, and then I can leave you be. Have you got any identification, please?
No, I said I am, sorry.
This whole situation's very suspicious, and you're not being very cooperative.
With the man refusing to show the agents his face, Connor thinks on his feet. He goes outside to try to get a look at the man's face, and then checks the social media profile of the debtor, Abbas Kadar.
See, I think it might be him.
That's him.
That's what I'm thinking.
Who is that?
That's Abbas Kadar.
Abbas Kadar. That's this gentleman here.
That's what I'm thinking. Are we right in thinking that, sir?
Sorry?
Are we right in thinking that you are Abbas Kadar?
Yeah.
When you have a snap decision to try and find out whether somebody is lying or not, and when you catch them in that lie, it's always satisfying to know that that's it. They've got nowhere else to go now, and it's almost the final nail in the coffin, and they have to own up and face it.
The agents are face to face with the director of the debtor company. Now they have to try to get to the bottom of this complex situation.
But why are you here?
To see the accountant. This isn't our trading address, this is our accountant's address, and I feel awful about the position they're in.
It may be a coincidence that the agents have found Mr. Kadar here today, but the writ can now be enforced.
Obviously, your company has been taken to court.
Okay.
So this is a High Court writ.
Okay.
And basically, we're looking for £11,471 to be paid.
Okay.
And 36 pence.
And what if this amount can't be paid?
This needs to be resolved.
With Mr. Kadar indicating that he can't pay, Connor turns up the pressure.
Is this your Volvo, is it?
It's not mine.
Whose is it, though?
Whose is the Volvo?
It's my wife's car.
Is your wife available
my wife.
to show proof that it's hers?
Well, it's a lease vehicle.
I'm going to go and check the HPI on the vehicle. I don't know if it is on finance or a lease. I'll be back in a second.
Connor, I've got a picture of the car here.
Oh, have you? Oh, that makes life a bit easier.
Connor does a quick vehicle check online.
Lex Auto Lease. Yeah.
That'll do it then.
The car is on finance and can't be seized. But with no other goods to bargain with, the agents need to see whether there are any company assets inside the vehicle.
I'm going to go and have a look in the car, mate.
Look in the car for what? You've realised this.
I don't know what could be in the boot, anything to do with work. If you're driving it, you could have anything in it.
But I'm not do anything with the car.
What's in the car that you don't want me to see?
There's nothing in the car.
So what's the problem? We're going to have a quick look in the car then?
You can't just.
I can.
Just making rules. You can't.
I've not made up any rules.
That's not my vehicle, and you haven't got any permission or documentation to say you can look in that vehicle.
Please go out.
I don't think they will.
We won't be leaving until this is resolved.
You go out, and I need to crack on with work, please.
Just give me 5 minutes, and I promise we'll all go.
Under pressure to get the agents out of his accountant's house, Mr. Kadar makes a U-turn.
If we out with you now, so what can we
pay it?
How much
was it?
£11,471.36.
Can you split the amount into 3 payments?
No, we need half of the debt paid. If we can get £6,000 paid, and then I'm happy to do an arrangement on that.
I don't think 6 is possible. What I'm saying, if we can do to get away from this situation today, I could pay a third of that amount now, a third next week, and a third the following week, so the whole thing's sorted in 2 weeks.
But that first third isn't going to be enough.
Can I go in there for 1 minute without being followed, please?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Moments later, after talking to his accountant, Mr. Kadar has a new offer.
Have you got partnership?
We're talking about the full payment?
I understand that.
Gary, mate, he's paying in full.
It appears that Mr. Kadar has managed to find the money after all and pays off the debt in full.
Can you sign there, please, say that you've paid us the money?
And then you're gone, straight away?
Yeah.
Being paid now, can you please leave?
Okay, thank you.
It's been a surprising case for the agents.
Can you imagine if he goes to see his accountant, at that point in time, we turn up and start causing all sorts of problems for him. Finding him on Facebook, that was crucial.
I'm taking that as my victory.
Well done, mate.
Thanks to their perseverance, Gary and Connor got the result they needed. But in Steve, Paul and Max's next case,
how have they got in there? That's a Cytex door. There's iron grills everywhere.
a squatter eviction
Guys, this isn't going to end well. You know we're going to come in no matter what.
pushes their skills to the limit.
I'm hoping this doesn't end well for your door.
Research has shown that the number of squatters in the UK has more than doubled in the last 20 years. But since squatting in residential properties became a criminal offence in 2012, the problem has shifted to vacant commercial premises, and insurance claims regarding damage inflicted by squatters has doubled in recent years. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bowhill, Steve Pinner and Max Caraher are in New Cross, South London, to carry out a multiple eviction.
I think we need to go up this one over here, go left up there, right to the very end of the roundabout.
An empty commercial property has been taken over by a small group of squatters. And the agents have the right to force entry today to get them out.
The first thing we really need to establish with the landlords, if they don't just let us in, is how much
damage can we cause? Let's go.
There we go.
Okay.
As the agents know there's only a small group of people in the house, they haven't requested a police presence.
But there's only 5 people here, is it?
It says 4 to 6.
But as they approach the property, it becomes immediately clear that this job is going to be far from straightforward.
There's iron grills everywhere.
The building, a former solicitor's office, has been heavily fortified.
So our experience the last time we did one of these is it took us 2 hours to get through the door.
It seems that the squatters managed to get into the building despite the heavy security the landlord installed to keep trespassers out.
How have they got in there? That's a Cytex door. The mortise is around.
Just a big Doris on there.
There. Yeah, and I think that will go.
It's clear that the agents will need to use specialist tools to get through the metal security door.
Shall I go and bring the van down? Because they're not going to just open the door, are they?
While Paul goes to fetch the van, Steve finds out whether anyone is inside.
Morning. We're here with a High Court writ to take back the property. Would you like to open the door for us so we can talk and I can show you the paperwork? If you don't open the door, if you don't open the door, then we have to come in by any means. Guys, okay.
Barricading.
Barricading
Let's
the
go.
door now.
Let's roll.
Guys, this isn't going to end well. You know we're going to come in no matter what.
It seems that the squatters are now blocking up the front door from the inside.
What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to keep a presence round here, and I think going through the back. Any problems, just call us.
Yep.
Round at the back of the house, Steve meets the contractor who originally secured the property.
There's 2 doors around the back, of our steel doors, same type, but potentially, because we built a wooden frame, we'll be able to rip it off.
It seems the doors at the back may be easier to force open. But first, Steve and the contractor need to get over the wooden fence and into the garden.
They've put a screw in there so you can't get the keys in. So if we just take that frame off.
Paul brings the van round to the back of the property and takes some tools to Steve.
Paul, what we're going to do is get a big bar and rip the door frame out.
Steve sets to work on the door. The steel door is loose, but won't come free of the frame.
It's a big testament to your doors anyway.
So Steve thinks on his feet and goes to talk to the builders working next door.
Guys, you got a long scaffold pole we could borrow? May they have left one lying around somewhere for us. The young man on the building sites can see if he can find us a long scaffold pole. With a long scaffold pole we've got much more leverage and we should be able to pull the bolts. See, you did say you had one somewhere.
I had one somewhere, didn't
Thank you very much. I'll bring it back to you and I'll try not to damage it. And it had to bloody rain today. I'm hoping this doesn't end well for your door. The trouble is getting in there, isn't it? Don't knock me over.
Even with the scaffold pole, they still can't get the door off.
Can't believe that's bending it. To send us to old geezers along to a squatter's eviction, it doesn't matter. I mean, the job is the job. OK, it's a little more physical than our normal run-of-the-mill, but it is the job. So whether we go to one of those or we go to a repossession or a writ of control, you're still up against it. You don't know what you're going to get there till you get to the door.
Hello.
The agents have now been at the property for over an hour when a man arrives.
What's up? Not much. You live here? Yeah, okay. A High Court writ of possession. Property's been repossessed today.
The man who's been living here seems happy to leave. But minutes later, he turns up in the back garden with 2 of his housemates.
This is private property. Would you like to get off, please? Back to the fence, please. Thank you. That's all part of this land, so if you'd be very careful as you go out, don't fall over anything. Young man.
Can we just ask you to leave? This is private property.
You hid so well in the trees there, I didn't see you. That's private property too.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to keep off of private property, we'd be very grateful.
The squatters leave the garden and watch proceedings from the road. But the agents still have to get the others out.
I don't know how long this goes across.
It appears that a bar behind the metal door is keeping it wedged shut. So Paul changes tactics.
Disc cutter?
The door is finally off. But it seems that the squatters are determined to keep the agents out.
Oh! Sorry, I dropped that. That won't work. Why does every place have a washing machine? Hi guys, good morning. Obviously we're in now, so would you like to get your stuff together and make a move? Thank you very, very much. Steady. Good morning all.
Good morning.
Well done. How many of you?
The two of us.
Which way would you like to go?
Well, I think this way is going to be the easiest one.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You'd have to just... Yeah, please do.
The two remaining squatters cooperate with the agents.
Good luck.
And leave with their housemates.
With squatters, the thing is to keep us out. The barricading inside and everything like that, it's purely to keep us out so we can't get in. Once we're through the barriers and we're in, then they've lost their argument. So then 9 times out of 10 they just pack the stuff and go.
To complete the eviction, Steve needs to confirm the building is entirely empty.
I'm just going to go up and check the building, in case he lied to me. We're in the end. Nobody's in this one. Nobody's in this one. I can't get that sofa through this doorway.
The property is in a shocking state.
If anybody'd like a sandwich, there's some bread and cheese here. Oh, and some quiche.
The squatters have inflicted extensive damage in every room.
When you get into these properties through squat evictions, for some reason they just trash the building, and for no particular reason. Okay, they're in there, they live in there, but why would you want to live in a pigsty or something that's not safe? I don't understand that at all. It makes you sad really when you consider that the buildings normally are quite nice originally, and then they've been totally trashed for no reason at all, only apart from the fact that they were empty, and obviously the squatters had nothing to do.
There doesn't seem to be anyone else in the house. But then Steve spots an open hatch onto the roof.
Steve? Yep.
Where are you?
Top floor.
All good?
I need a pair of something to get up onto the roof. So I need a pair of steps. Would you do me a favour? Just put your foot at the bottom of that ladder for me. It's the only thing I've got to call a ladder. Allez, hop! Well, I can't see nobody on the roofs. Oh, there's nobody up here, so we can lock this up. Coming back. Hopefully the same way I came. And not in a bundle.
With the house thoroughly checked over, the eviction is complete.
I think that's us done. And the last person turned the lights out. Have you got screws to put the door back on the back?
Yeah, I've got some screws.
Brilliant. Thanks very much. Take care. Oh, happy day.
In 2017, the number of people contacting a UK counselling charity to seek help with their debts rose by nearly 30% since the previous year. 3/4 of debtors said they were afraid to open their post. And over 90% had used some form of credit to pay an essential bill or other debt. High Court enforcement agents Gary Brown and trainee Connor Jackson are in Faversham, Kent. chasing a debt of over £4,000 owed by Mary McIntyre to a former neighbour.
You've got quite an interesting one next. Mrs. Mary McIntyre owes money for some substantial vet fees when her dog attacked the client's dog.
This will be fun then. I want to use you as a shield.
We're there to collect £4,326. It's somewhere around there.
That's it. That's the one. Heart in the window.
Cool. Try and be inconspicuous.
Mate, my middle name's inconspicuous.
Gary and Connor need to get into the house to enforce the writ. But with a potentially dangerous dog on site, they'll have to tread carefully.
Hi, can I speak to Mary, please?
Yeah, I'm speaking.
Hi there. Mary, we're enforcement agents.
Yeah.
We're here with a High Court writ.
I've spoken to the court. I've sent off all my paperwork to them to
Right.
reduce me in payments, and I've not heard back from Canterbury Court yet.
The client has decided to step it up to the High Court for enforcement purposes, so we can still accept an arrangement, but we have to get an idea for your circumstances. I'll give you a copy of the High Court writ.
While Gary is talking to Mary at the door, Connor goes round the back to check the whereabouts of the dog. Finding the gate and then the back door unlocked, he makes peaceful entry into the house. Fortunately, the dog seems friendly. But Mary has other ideas.
Hello. I can do this.
No, please don't come into my house.
I can do that.
I didn't actually let you in.
You don't have to. The High Court writ.
If my dog gets run over, believe me.
Dog's there. She didn't bark and growl or anything at me.
She's not good with strangers. I am just warning you.
That's fine.
Don't touch her because I don't want you to get bitten.
Mary, I was a dog handler at Sandhurst.
Hello.
I'm,
baby.
That's right. I wouldn't touch her if I was you.
No.
That's not a dangerous dog at all.
Dangerous dog at all.
How has this dog bitten anything? Mary, can you...
Shut the front door, please. This is ridiculous. Please stop touching the dog. She is not friendly.
I've yet to see any evidence to say she's not.
Can we move into the other room, please?
Okay, let's go.
Okay, you're upsetting me.
Then Mary surprises the agents.
Today is actually my birthday.
Happy
and
birthday.
I cannot, but no, it's not a happy birthday, is it? With you two coming into my house.
Gary and Connor are now in an unexpected situation. Their visit may be bad timing for the debtor, but the agents still have to get this case resolved one way or another. High Court enforcement agent Gary Brown and trainee Connor Jackson were in Faversham, Kent, to recover a debt of over £4,000 owed by debtor Mary McIntyre.
Hi there. We're enforcement agents.
Yeah.
We're here with a High Court writ.
I've spoken to the court. I've sent off all my paperwork to them.
When Connor made peaceful entry into the property from the back,
No, please don't come into my house.
I can do that.
Mary warned the agents her dog might attack.
It's not good with strangers. I am just warning you.
And it became clear the agent's visit was bad timing for her.
Today is actually my birthday.
Happy
and
birthday.
I cannot, but no, it's not a happy birthday, is it? With you two coming into my house.
Now the agents have to try and calm Mary down and get this case back on track.
We're here to try and collect the balance on behalf of the client. Sometimes that means removal of goods. Sometimes it's because people wish to pay it instead.
Okay.
We don't want to remove any goods. But ultimately the
I
debt
haven't
is...
got any goods for you to... Everything in here is basically third hand. But I'm still willing to offer to pay something today.
How much can you pay today? And how much can you pay monthly?
£50?
Today or monthly?
Monthly. I'll pay you £50 today and £50 monthly.
That wouldn't be enough.
I'm a single parent of 2 children. I don't even receive any child maintenance. I actually said to the judge in court, I don't have that kind of money. I explained my circumstances. You can see I'm not lying.
When people are honest, their story flows, and it becomes obvious that somebody's being truthful, and it turns the whole visit into a much easier thing to manage. And ultimately they realise at the end that we're actually there to help. We're not always there to take things, but they must accept that we are there on behalf of somebody else that they owe money to.
The agents have been at the house for half an hour when Mary's friend arrives.
It's now 12:15. I'm going to give you till 12:30 to make whatever phone calls you need and come back to me with a reasonable offer. And then if either there's no money paid by 12:30 or there's no offer, then we're going to start the removal process. If we do go down that road, another £829.20 will be added and we'll go up to £5,155.
The deadline is set, and Mary immediately gets her mother on the phone.
They're giving me till 12:30. Yeah, of course, I'll pass you over. It's my mum.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello there.
Miss McIntyre's mother.
Obviously, if you were willing to help her out with this, then it would be regarded as a voluntary payment because it's not your debt, and that would be the case, would be settled. Have you got a debit card that we can do it over the phone?
I've got a debit card here, yes, but I haven't got that amount of money in my account.
Oh,
God.
It seems that Mary's mother can't help. So Mary gets back on the phone.
How are we getting on? I don't know how well you know Mary. Do you?
I know
good
Mary,
friends?
and she doesn't have a pot to piss in.
It sounds like she's making efforts to get the money, so...
She is.
In order to do this job, you have to have a certain amount of patience and tolerance, because not everybody is in a situation where they can pay straight away. So it's about being patient enough to allow them to make the efforts to get the money.
Mary's time to raise some funds is nearly up. But at the 11th hour, she gets her brother on the phone.
Hello?
Sorry, who am I talking to?
My name's Gary Brown. I'm one of the enforcement agents.
You couldn't have picked a better day to go around to her, as you know it's her birthday, don't you?
I do now. I didn't know when I knocked on the door.
No, you probably don't really care that much anyway, but hey.
Well, it's not for me to say, oh, I'm sorry to the client. We're not going to enforce this writ today because it's the debtor's birthday.
What needs to be paid today?
£4,326.71.
Okay.
Are you able to do that?
I am, yes.
Mary's brother pays his sister's debt off in full.
Okay, that's gone through. All right, thank you very much.
It's always better to get the payment from the debtor, but if that's not possible, then sometimes family are there to help, and it means that we can wrap up the case and get the result we need for the client.
With more friends now here for Mary's birthday, it's been an awkward case.
I get that this isn't a pleasant visit for you, but there are always people out there that don't pay the money that they owe. I think you're a genuine person and you're just on hard times at the moment. But it's not our place to judge.
Now it's finally resolved. The agents can leave.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Oh, good result. Got there in the end.
And the Can't Pay Agents are back at 9 next Wednesday on Channel 5. Tomorrow night, the youngsters who have to become streetwise just that bit earlier. Gypsy Kids, Our Secret World is brand new at 9. OK, you better plump up that cushion, because next, one of those Channel 5 shows that when it starts, you can't stop watching. Most shocking TV moments in just a tick.
Threats.
Get out!
Anger.
Call the police, man. Call the police, man!
Listen.
Desperation. What happens when debt
away
tracks you down?
We're ringing recovery for these goods to be removed.
Up and down the UK.
Can you come to the door, please?
We see Britain's most resilient High Court enforcement agents.
Send police immediately, please.
Dealing with every debtor's worst nightmare. Because if you can't pay,
It doesn't matter about whose debt you're in my mother's house.
they'll take it away. A recent survey has shown that nearly 17 million people across the UK are at serious risk of getting into debt. 40% of working age people have less than £100 in savings, so any unexpected bills or expenses could suddenly push them into a financial crisis. High Court enforcement agents Gary Brown and trainee Connor Jackson work all over London and the South East, collecting debts and seizing goods.
Nice sunny day, it's only 9 degrees.
Today they're in Lewisham, South East London, with a writ to recover over £1,700 owed by Carl Gardner to a parking company.
What we got next, mate?
I do believe some parking tickets for the amount of £1,752.80.
The job sounds straightforward, but it will push all of Gary and Connor's skills and abilities to the limit.
I think it's the second one in from the end, mate. Hello? Hi, up.
You all right, mate?
Who you after?
Carl Gardner, please. Who are you, please, mate?
Who am I, his brother?
Okay. Have you got a phone number for him we could speak to him about, please? All right, mate. We're here about a legal matter. Ideally, we need to speak to Carl.
Yeah, well, I haven't got a number for him. He's just come here, but obviously he doesn't live here anymore.
But he doesn't live here, you say?
No.
But Carl is listed on the electoral roll at this address. The agents have the right to stay and investigate further.
Do you own this property? Do you live here, or do you live here with parents, or is your mum here?
Yeah, but she's like 81. She can't come here.
Could I see a copy of the council tax bill or the tenancy agreement? The easiest way, if we can't find the paperwork, is if we just come in, have a look around, and confirm that he doesn't live here.
Give us a sec. We'll see.
Okay. All right.
The man claiming to be Carl's brother has locked the agents out. But Gary is still suspicious that he could be the debtor.
Stuttering and stammering about who lives here. So, I'm not convinced at the moment. I don't believe his brother hasn't got a mobile number for him either.
When people are telling the truth, their body language tells you quite a lot. And I'm quite observant to that. And people will look you in the eye. But when they lie, you know, they'll avoid eye contact. There'll be little gestures that they'll do. They give it all away. They will be very closed off physically. From somebody such as myself that can spot that body language, it can be quite easy to see.
5 minutes later, the man has not yet returned.
Ah, you found it.
Still looking. I haven't found the bill. I've got a letter from the council.
Have you got any ID, Lloyd? Just so I can confirm you're not Carl.
All right.
The man has left the front door open, so Gary and Connor seize their opportunity.
Excuse me, I didn't ask you to come in.
I know, you left the door open, sir, so we made peaceful entry. We're allowed to do that. Have you got a driving licence or...?
I can't find the passport. Mum, who am I?
Hey?
Who am I?
No, Gardner.
Okay.
My son.
It seems the man is the debtor's brother after all. But the agents still need to establish whether Carl lives here or not.
I want to cause as little stress to anyone else as possible. We need to see proof one way or another that he doesn't live here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How
So-
can I prove that he doesn't live here? As far as I'm concerned, you've just walked into my property, yeah, and you ain't got no legal rights.
We have. We've got a High Court writ. Do you want to follow us around so you can see what we're doing?
My mum's got to say yes.
No, no.
To be honest, Lloyd, I know it's her house and I respect that, but we have a job to do and we have legal authority from the courts.
But Lloyd refuses to accept the agent's authority.
I'm asking you to leave, please.
And I'm saying no. We can gain peaceful entry.
Yes, which you have done. You
Once
walked
we're in,
yeah,
you can't have us removed and you can't obstruct us from doing our job.
well, you're going to have to move me. And then that means you're going to have to fight me to move me,
The
innit?
police will move you.
No, what is what I'm saying? Well, you're going to have to do that, because at the end of the day...
Okay. Yeah, please, mate.
You know what I mean?
The prospect of the police being called changes Lloyd's mind.
You know, at the end of the day, you just let them come and look then, innit?
Can we do that?
One of them look.
Okay, don't bother calling the police. All right, we've cancelled the phone call to the police, okay?
Yeah, just one of you. Just one of you.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
okay,
that's fine.
I'll stay down here, mate, not a problem.
The agents have a right to search each room thoroughly for evidence that the debtor may in fact be living in the house.
That's one room there.
But Lloyd has other ideas.
What are you looking for?
Evidence.
You can't just come in here and
Lloyd,
start opening up stuff.
Yes, I can. And I'm going to.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. The more you get involved and try to obstruct me from doing it, the more you're going to get yourself in trouble.
Then, in the next bedroom, Gary makes a game-changing discovery.
Why is Carl Gardner's 30-day free trial for Amazon Prime in this room?
Because he used to live here.
The discovery suddenly changes Lloyd's attitude.
Right, so basically, I'll tell you what you do. Leave the door.
Lloyd,
Leave the door. Call the police.
Don't
Come
start
out.
getting...
No, come out.
Don't
Call the police.
touch me.
No, call the police. Call the police, yeah? Call the police, man. Call the police, man!
Listen.
I said, come out! Call the police, man. Come out! My mum's 81! Are you disrespecting her?
Listen, you need to stop! Hey!
Come out then!
Do not!
Yeah, you come then!
Yeah.
Yeah, you come! Get out! Get out!
You want the police?
I
Yeah,
said,
police
come out!
assistance, please.
You need to come out of my house, man! You need to come out!
No, we're not going anywhere.
You need to come out of my mum's house!
Step back.
I said you need to come out of my mum's house! You need to come out of my mum's house! See?
We're going to call the police.
Yeah, we'll call them! Call them, man!
Send police immediately, please. Don't push me. Listen, I don't want you to push me down the stairs. All right, you can understand that, can't you?
Yeah, I do. But I want you to go down and call the police down there, yeah? Come on.
Listen, get off me.
This simple debt recovery has turned into a violent situation. With the case on a knife edge, it will take all of Gary and Connor's experience to keep themselves safe until the police arrive. Connor Jackson and Gary Brown were in southeast London, collecting a £1,700 debt from Carl Gardner for unpaid parking fines.
Who are you, please, mate?
Who am I, your brother?
Lloyd Gardner claimed his brother no longer lived at the address.
Yeah, well, I haven't got a number for him. He doesn't live here anymore.
But when the agents found evidence to the contrary...
Why is Carl Gardner's 30-day free trial for Amazon Prime in this room?
The situation turned nasty.
Get out! Get out!
Get off me! Send police immediately, please.
What's happening there?
High Court enforcement, we made peaceful entry.
Don't make peaceful entry. They pushed their way into my house.
And the gentleman here has become very aggressive.
Now, despite the fact the police are on their way, Lloyd isn't backing down.
I'm asking you nicely. Can you
I'm
stand
saying
up out
no.
there? You're
I'm
messing
saying
up
no.
my mum's house.
Listen, you need to stay
Yeah?
calm. Do you understand me?
I'm calm.
You are not doing yourself any favours. This isn't even your debt.
It doesn't matter about whose debt. You're in my mother's house. My mum's 81.
When somebody's being aggressive and violent towards me, it does get my heart beating a bit faster. It's not something that I'm ever going to accept. Sometimes it is the best decision to back off and wait for further assistance from police.
10 minutes after they were called, the police arrive.
Afternoon, guys. This is the writ for Carl Gardner at this address. He's saying he doesn't live here, but he's being very evasive and very cagey about the whole thing. He doesn't want us to go looking through drawers, which makes us think that there is a possibility that he does live here.
I've come up there, seen him going through drawers. He didn't wait for me to come in the room. Then when I'm asking him to go back down the stairs, and he said, well, they have to call the police. They have to call the police if that's whatever. I'm saying, yeah, call the police then. But then you lot didn't want to come downstairs. You lot want my mum sitting down on the stairs.
Together, we check the rooms, we'll go in all together with yourselves, we'll get this issue sorted out as quick as possible.
To keep the peace, the police escort the agents back upstairs to the room they suspect might be Carl's.
If he doesn't live here, then, we'll see. We'll see what I find. Okay, I'm going to need to move the bed so I can get into these drawers.
Another family member is watching the agents search.
Carl Gardner. I found letters, birthday cards. Everything I'm seeing is for Carl Gardner.
Yeah. Because he used to live here.
Then, Gary makes an unusual discovery.
I've got a few things here to Carl.
There are several envelopes addressed to Carl, stuffed with cash.
If he didn't live here, why wouldn't he take his money with him?
He's allowed to open up his letters.
Then, yes, this is addressed to Carl.
Whoa, you didn't even tell me how much money. You didn't even tell me Yeah, but wait a minute. You didn't even told me it was owed or nothing. You just
You're not Carl. You're not Carl.
Yeah, well, that's why you ain't supposed to be in here.
Listen,
No, we need to know why you're taking that money.
It looks to me that this is Carl's money.
That
80,
is not Carl's
100,
money.
20.
It's not Carl's money.
Gary has found in total £940 in the envelopes addressed to Carl.
Why would he leave hundreds of pounds in an address that he doesn't live anymore? I think it's becoming clear that this is Carl's room.
It's a great feeling when you find that single crucial piece of evidence that confirms they live there. An open letter, subscriptions, things taken out in the debtor's name. They're not going to have that there if they didn't live there.
Despite claiming that he didn't have a number for his brother, Lloyd finally gets Carl on the phone.
Hello, Carl.
Hello.
Hi. My name's Gary Brown. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. I'm at this property. Lloyd is quite passionately stated that you don't live here. However, I've found evidence that you do. There's quite a number of envelopes with money in. So I've seized this cash. We've got nigh on £1,000 in cash.
So can you explain to me what this money is owed for, please?
It's for parking fines accrued against yourself.
So you're actually in my room taking things out of my thing?
So you do live here then?
I don't live there, no.
Well, you just said I'm in your room. You've just slipped up, Carl. You've just admitted you stay in this room.
No, you must have misunderstood me when I was speaking, but I did not say that. Because it's got my name on it, you're thinking it's mine.
Gary's patience is now running out.
I'm going to escalate this case to the sale and disposal stage very shortly, now that I've established you live here. If you give me a refusal, to pay this debt in full, or if you say that you can't pay it, then I am going to remove goods and escalate this case. Are you going to pay this debt now?
Are you happy with the money you received?
No, I'm not. I want the full balance.
You've got some cash.
It doesn't matter, I want the full balance. Are you going to pay this debt or not?
I don't have the money to pay that.
There you go.
With Carl saying he can't pay any more than the £1,000 Gary has already found, the agents have no choice but to look for assets to cover the remainder of the £1,700 debt. But searching and listing assets to seize will increase the total by a further £630.
Right. It's gone to stage 3. We're at £2,382.80. Either it's paid in full or we remove goods. There's no arguments about it.
Lloyd, he's escalated it now. Did you hear how much is needed, Lloyd?
Connor, can you start making an inventory of goods? We'll start in this room. It's a shame it has to go this far, before people realise we're serious.
There doesn't appear to be much in the room of any value. But then, Gary spots some vehicle testing equipment.
Connor?
Yes, mate?
What's this, mate? Is this the diagnostics machine?
Yeah, that's worth a bit of dough, that is, mate.
Is it?
Probably worth about £600-700, that.
Oh, okay.
Suddenly, Lloyd makes the agents an offer.
You got £1,000, so that just leaves £442.80.
So, and there's no way that you can sort that out, like, even tomorrow or something like that?
No, we need to get it sorted today, mate.
To settle the debt once and for all, Carl's mother pays the remaining balance.
If you can check the amount on your pin for me, please.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to write you out a receipt for the cash. That's to say that we received the £1,940. Okay, and then we'll sort out the rest on the card and we'll get out of here for you, mate.
After nearly 2 hours at the house, the debt is settled in full.
Okay, that's it, we're done.
All right, thank you very much.
It's been a testing case for the agents.
I don't believe a word anybody tells me until I see proof. I don't deal with people's say-so. I deal with proof and evidence. So I'll look for evidence myself. He's tried pulling the wool. It hasn't worked. Pay the money.
Can we go on? Yeah.
There are currently 4.7 million self-employed workers in the UK, and the numbers are on the rise. But the average wage for someone self-employed is now lower than it was 20 years ago. A recent survey revealed that over 40% of people in self-employment earn less than £1,000 a month. High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are in Flintshire, North Wales, to collect more than £2,000 owed by tradesman Paul Wiley to a former employer.
There's always a story, mate. There's always a story.
Yeah. It looks a bit in darkness, I'll be honest.
top curtain, twitching. We've got a twitcher.
We got a twitcher.
Oh.
Mr. Wiley's employers escalated the case to the High Court, and now he must pay the £2,200 he owes in full today. The door is open.
Hello?
So Stuart takes the opportunity to enter the property.
Hello there. Hello, we're after Paul Wiley. Actually, we're High Court enforcement agents, you see. So we've been sent by the claimant to collect an outstanding balance.
He's not here.
Isn't it? Are you able to get him on the phone?
No, because his phone's been cut off.
Right, okay. You need to try and get in contact with him, one way or another.
I'll go out in the car and get him.
Right.
You're not coming down.
We'll be staying here at the moment.
Well, you can't stay in that because I need to go out in the car.
Right, well, at the moment we're inside the property, I'm afraid, so we're here to execute the writ.
My husband's phone's been disconnected. If there was any way I could get hold of him, I would, but I can't. I know where he's working, so I'm going to go now and get him now.
Right, okay.
We're all human at the end of the day, and it's very difficult sometimes to see the human impact some of these cases has on a family and how it can tear some families apart. But, you know, we have to be professional at the end of the day.
While Mrs. Wiley leaves with her 2 young children to fetch her husband, the agents look around the house for any assets they could seize if he doesn't pay.
Nothing in the house, mate, really.
There's little here to cover the debt. But only a few minutes later, a van pulls up near the house.
Does that look like him?
Oh, it's like him.
Morning. Is it Mr. Wiley? Morning, sir. My name is Mr. Victor. This is my colleague, Mr. McCracken.
Hello there, sir.
Enforcement agents.
No.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Wiley. Do you know what it's about?
I do now, yeah.
We don't, to be honest with you. That's why I'm asking.
I was self-employed and I struggled, people not paying me. Because I wanted to better myself. I just wanted to, get a full-time job, but I ended up packing the job in.
Mr. Wiley claims that after the company failed to pay him all the money he was owed, he fell into mortgage arrears and took drastic action.
And I actually used their money to pay my mortgage because I nearly had my house repossessed.
Yeah.
When his employer found out what he'd done, they took him to court and he was ordered to repay the debt plus costs.
Now, at the moment, the balance is £2,231 and 9 pence.
I haven't got it.
If not, we instructed to remove goods.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how I'm going to get the money. I don't know how I'm going to get it.
Minutes later, Mr. Wiley's wife and children arrive back home. With nothing worth taking from the house, Vic runs a check on the family car.
Is it on finance? Okay. No worries, thanks, mate.
The car is on a payment plan and can't be seized, so the agents turn their attention to Mr. Wiley's work van.
The fact of the matter is, our rig gives us the power to remove goods, so we will be removing the van today.
I won't be able to earn any money to pay anyone back.
Yeah, it is what it is, I'm afraid.
Is there no one else that can help you?
No, and my dad's in hospital. If I haven't got the vehicle, I can't earn any money to pay it.
Yeah.
The agents would rather take money than remove the van, but they hope the threat of seizing it might prompt Mr. Wiley to make an offer.
She ain't going anywhere. It's all about finding a trigger point. It makes people actually take it seriously when we've taken control of something that they don't want to lose. It could be various goods, it could be one particular item that they don't want us to take. It might not be worth much money, but could have a detrimental effect on how they work.
Before they call for recovery of the van, Stuart gives Mr. Wiley one last chance to pay.
I know it's a massive ask, and get anyone to just nip it in the bud today and just end it today. That's going to be better.
Not really, because about 4 weeks ago the house was getting repossessed and we had to try and get the money we couldn't together then.
Yeah.
So
the situation is at a stalemate. It's clear that Mr. Wiley can't pay the £2,200 he owes. So Stuart speaks to the office.
Hello? Hi, Stuart. I know.
Yes, claimant transfer.
All right.
It's good news. The claimant has thrown Mr. Wiley a lifeline.
The claimant said that he basically wants 50% today.
yeah, but I've got £1 in my account.
Yeah. If not, we'll have to remove
money. We're
goods.
struggling as it is. I won't got no money. I can show you my account if you want. I've got nothing in there.
Claim one's 50% to show willing, and then you can clear the rest in 30 days.
So you're looking at 1,200.
It seems even half the money is out of reach, but the agents make it clear this is their final offer.
With regards to the van, it will be removed. It's then stored for 7 days for its own public auction.
Knowing that losing the van would make it difficult for him to work, Mr. Wiley finally starts to make some calls to try and raise funds.
I'll have to ask your mum and dad. Hello, is Grandad there? Listen mate, I'm in a bit of trouble. I've got a player who lives in the house. We clamped the van, we're going to take the van, we're going to empty the house, and I haven't paid the bill. £1,200. I'll give it back in 2 weeks, no later. I promise. Okay. Thanks, Paul. I'll give it back in 2 weeks, I promise you.
With the help of his father-in-law, Mr. Wiley has met the claimant's demand for a 50% down payment, but the situation has taken its toll.
That's embarrassing. I'm just going to have to work my nuts off now for 2 weeks.
I know how much more bad luck we can have.
No.
I really don't.
We'll get straight. Just have to be positive.
The case is resolved for now. Mr. Wiley now has 30 days to clear the rest of his balance. But if he's unsuccessful, the agents will be back.
It's your card and your receipt. I need you to print your name there. 8,200 paid today. Yeah. Balance to be cleared 1,687.49.
What a bad luck time I've had, eh?
It can only get better.
It will, mate.
It can only get better.
It looks like they genuinely are on hard times. I mean, if you can't afford to pay your mortgage. So he's managed to get 1,200 quid from his father-in-law. Coming across this more and more, to be completely honest with you. Grandparents that they've saved up their entire lives, yet they're spending it on their kids.
I'm pretty confident he'll clear it. Sounds like he had a bit of a bad luck run. Hopefully it will get better.
Stuart and Vic thought on their feet to prevent a family crisis. But in their next case...
The balance is £2,435. It's what?
A defendant in denial finally faces the truth.
They gave you goods without paying.
Literally, you walked in, that was it. See you later. Yeah.
Personal insolvencies in England and Wales are on the rise. In 2016, over 90,000 people became insolvent, and almost 40% of British adults are worried about their current level of debt. Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are now in Blackpool.
Such a muggy, miserable day.
Yeah, it's quite warm though.
They have a writ to collect nearly £2,500, owed to a plumber's merchant by kitchen fitter Mark Beach.
Mr. Mark Beach, trading as Best Interiors. £2,435.
Right, it says it's here on the left. Best Interiors. Hello? Hello?
The doors to the workshop are open, but nobody appears to be in. So Stuart phones the number he has for the defendant, Mark.
Hello? Hello there, Mark. My name's Mr. McCracken. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. I'm currently in your unit at the moment with regards to an outstanding balance, so with a High Court writ to collect an outstanding...
Is it to me, Mark Beach?
It is, yeah. Trading as Best Interiors.
I'm bankrupt, so do you want the bankruptcy number?
When was it you were declared bankrupt?
2002.
2002?
Yep, I'm still bankrupt.
Right, okay, but that was from 2002, sir. This is after your bankruptcy.
Mark Beach's bankruptcy 15 years ago would have written off most of the debts he incurred before that date, but not after it.
I'm still currently bankrupt.
Yeah, but sir, anything after the date you're liable for, regardless of your bankruptcy. Because you go bankrupt because the debt that you've incurred, not for the debt that you've incurred after your bankruptcy. When people are declared bankrupt, they think they don't have to pay any future debts, but that can't be further from the truth. It's they try and hide behind the word bankruptcy to think that we're not going to collect. We're simply going to walk away.
With his argument not being accepted, Mark changes tack.
Best Interiors doesn't belong to me.
Right.
It's my wife's business, so you can't touch it.
Well,
they've assumed I'm Best Interiors. Nothing to do with me. Why they've taken me to court.
So what we'll do is, sir. What we'll do is, sir.
If you understand, Mrs. M. Sumner is the sole proprietor of Best Interiors.
The agents now need proof that his wife owns Best Interiors, the business named on the writ, and that all the equipment in the workshop belongs to her.
Well, she can provide documentation, sir, but she needs to do that in the next 15 minutes.
She can produce all the documentation you need.
Well, she needs to do that in the next 15 minutes, sir, because we're ringing recovery for these goods to be removed. And
What goods will get removed?
Well, the chop saw that's in the middle of the floor for a start.
What do you mean the shop door? How have you got in my property? In her property?
Because it's open, sir.
No, it was not open.
It was open, sir.
No, it was not open.
Sir, I'm not going around in circles, okay? So what I'll do is now, I'll ring recovery.
Well, I don't own those properties. That property is owned by Mrs. Sumner.
Yes.
No, you can have a word with the landlord that the lease is in Mrs. Sumner's name.
The lease is irrelevant, sir. The lease can be anyone's name. It can be in the name of Father Christmas. It makes no difference.
I'll have to get a hold of her now, won't I?
If you can, sir, yes, because in 15 minutes I'll be ringing recovery for these goods to be removed. Okay? So I'll speak to you shortly.
Now, while they wait for Mark to arrive, Stuart and Vic start an inventory of goods they could seize if he can't prove they belong to his wife.
Right, so what have we got, Vic? We got a chop saw.
Yeah, it's a Mini Max. It's a Mini Max cutting saw.
Cutting saw, yeah. Anything else?
What about the Statum?
Yeah.
Titan, speed bench, pillar drill.
The joinery equipment would more than cover the £2,400 Mark owes. But removing it could put the business in serious jeopardy.
We're not in the game to close anyone down. We're not here to close the business down because that's not going to have advantage to no one. We would rather want to work with the business, leave assets there, they can trade and still raise funds and pay the claimant that way.
10 minutes after Stuart phoned him, Mark arrives at the workshop.
Oh, sorry, all right.
On the way down.
All right, no worries.
She owns everything here.
Yeah.
Does she?
Everything. I can't have anything, so I don't have anything.
I appreciate that.
I'm an employee of Best Interiors.
Yeah.
Employed by my wife. I don't physically own anything.
That's fine, as soon as we see proof of that. The balance is £2,435.
It's what?
£2,435.
It was 1,200 quid.
It was, yeah, but then the CCJ wasn't paid, so there's court fees.
And gone to the High Court now, see.
Anyway, that's me who's responsible for that because I put the goods.
Yeah.
So.
After first claiming he had nothing to do with the debt, Mark now appears to know all about it.
So goods have been taken in your name and they simply haven't been paid for?
Goods have been taken, yeah.
Yeah, and they haven't been paid for?
As yet, no, they haven't.
No.
They gave you goods without paying?
Yeah.
Literally, you walked in, that was it. See you later. Yeah. Bloody hell, I need to go there then.
Yeah.
They know me. They know me.
Yeah. My mind boggles some days when a debtor admits to owing the debt, but they want to blame the claimant for allowing them to get away with it. That just makes me want to resolve the matter even more so and make sure we get the right result for the claimant.
The agents have now been at the premises for half an hour when Mark's wife, Michelle, arrives.
What's the problem?
Well, the writ is in the name of Mark Beach Trading as Best Interiors.
Okay.
He admitted he owes the money.
Yeah.
So we had to try and resolve the matter today.
Yep. This is mine. All mine.
Right.
Have you explained about yourself?
Well, I'm an employee, that's right.
Yeah.
He hasn't actually got anything in his name anyway. That's a set of accounts, and that's my accountant.
Let me just have a quick look, yeah?
The documents prove that Michelle is the sole proprietor of Best Interiors and that she owns the assets in the workshop. The joinery equipment can't be seized. But Michelle is keen to know more about the debt her husband accrued.
I don't even know what the payment is because I don't know what it's for.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, your husband does.
Yeah, but what would the amount be?
£2,435.44.
Outstanding debts to suppliers could harm the business's reputation. Keen to resolve the matter quickly, Michelle makes the agents an offer.
I've got the money, it's just not cleared.
Right.
Please, it's just... No, honestly, I can show you then.
Yeah.
But it's not what's available.
Right.
Is there any way you can...
How much is available?
1, 1, 4.
It's not going to be enough.
Michelle's offer of just over £1,000 won't be enough for the claimant. Stuart keeps negotiating.
If you can get to 2, we can do 435.44 on a controlled goods agreement. So this stays for 24 hours, but you need to give us a quick call in 24 hours, either you or Mark, and so that I can pay the rest of it.
Yeah, right, I can.
Okay. When we see family members arriving to the rescue, we think, great, here's somebody that can raise the funds or have some funds for us, and the matter will be resolved. She's trying to help the business, she's trying to support her husband, and they don't want the business to go.
Stuart calls the office to see whether Michelle's offer of a £2,000 down payment and the balance in 24 hours is acceptable.
You can do 2,000 now and then £435.44 tomorrow on a CGA. And then there's one final payment tomorrow of 435.44. Alright, sorted. There you have it.
Is that alright?
Yeah, that's fine, that's sorted.
Right, what's the 400 of it?
435.44.
I think I might have cash in my hand.
Right, okay.
So yeah, I'm going to have to have 11 on that card, 9 on that card.
11 and 9. Okay, no probs.
After denying all liability for the debt, Michelle has now come up with the entire balance owed today.
Right, that one has gone through.
20.
30. You got the 5, we'll leave the 44p. So I'll light you off. Light you off.
You're getting soft in your old age, you
I am, aren't I? Just. Take it easy anyway. Alright, see you later.
It's been a good result for the agents.
It looks like Mr. Beach is used to the system, hence the reason he knows all about bankruptcy. He's been through it himself. So he's been to probably a dark place himself at some point. Everyone's got a pressure point. So we've worked on that, we got a payment. What annoys me the most is he's walked into the clients, he's taken the goods and not paid for them. So justice definitely today has been served.
A recent report has shown that Britain's high streets are experiencing an economic downturn, not seen since the financial crisis of 2009. The rise of online shopping and increases in business rates has put high street retailers under pressure, with 1 in 5 at risk of closing down. Gary Brown and Connor Jackson are back on the road. This time they're in Ashford, Kent, on their way to recover £8,500 owed by a jewellery and gift shop to a former employee.
What have we got there, mate?
Next up, we have got Jill Maria Archer, trading as Gold Mine. It's quite a large debt, 8.5 grand.
The owner of the shop, Jill Archer, took a former employee to court, claiming that stock had been stolen from the business. But the court dismissed Jill's claim and ordered her to pay the employee's legal costs.
Hopefully with a bit of luck, then.
If Jill can't or won't pay today, the agents have the right to remove assets to offset the debt.
Hello, Jill Archer. Hello there. My name's Gary Brown, High Court Enforcement Agent. I'm assuming you know what it's about. At the moment, we're looking for £8,500.
I haven't got anything. I
Okay.
haven't got anything. It's not me trading gold, right? It's a limited company. And nothing in the shop belongs to me personally.
Jill claims that her business is registered as a limited company and that none of the stock belongs to her personally. If she's telling the truth, the agents won't be able to seize anything. But Gary is suspicious.
If you can prove to me that this property and all the goods is owned by the limited company.
Well, you'll have to give me a few days to get the paper.
We're here now. Have you got your business rates, please?
I don't know where it is. We're in the middle of tidying up.
You're going to need to find it.
Gary now turns detective and immediately spots some paperwork.
So here's a letter from TSB. addressed to you personally. There's no limited company mention on this. This is dated 13th of October.
Yeah,
this is recent.
I used that card to buy the stuff. We didn't have any money.
Okay,
to open our bank account.
you've just cleared it up for me, really, Jill. You used this card that's in Jill Archer's name, your name, to buy the stock. There's no mention on this bank statement of any limited company. You have purchased the goods using this card, which is what you just told me, in your name, your personal name, rather than using a limited company account.
The recent bank statement is enough evidence to prove that stock in the shop does belong to Jill personally and can be seized. But before he calls for recovery, Gary wants to give her a chance to pay her £8,500 debt.
Jill, do you want to make some phone calls and see if somebody can help you with this? Because if we do remove goods, the debt isn't going to then increase up to £9,691. I'd rather not do that.
We've got no money.
This isn't going to go away.
We've got no money.
Even if I did leave here today, this is your personal debt. We would then we would attend your home address.
We've got nothing at home here.
Do yourself a favour and make some phone calls to see if somebody can help you with this. Otherwise, we'll have no option but to remove goods.
The debt arose because Jill believed 2 former members of staff had embezzled £500,000. She went to the police.
We spent 16 months doing an investigation, and they wrote to me in February 2016 and said they didn't have enough evidence for the CPS to prosecute him. And this is why we're in the arrest warrant.
Jill then took out a civil action against one of the former employees and lost. She's now been ordered to pay their legal costs. The agents need to get this case resolved today, one way or another.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it till 1:45. If you still haven't managed to find any funds, then I'm going to escalate the case to the sale and disposal stage.
It's clear that Jill has hit rock bottom, but if she can't raise any funds before the agent's deadline, she could lose what little she has left. Gary Brown and Connor Jackson were in Ashford, Kent, to collect £8,500 owed by jewellery and gift shop owner Jill Archer.
And nothing in the shop belongs to me personally.
Jill claimed she'd been ripped off by some former employees.
They didn't have enough evidence for the CPS to prosecute him. And this is why we're in the arrest warrant.
And then said stock in the shop was owned by a limited company. But Gary found evidence to the contrary.
You have purchased the goods in your name, your personal name, rather than using a limited company account.
Now, under pressure to save her stock, Jill finally picks up the phone and calls her accountant.
I need some help. I've got 2 bailiffs here. They're going to remove goods unless I can come up with some arrangement.
Hello?
She hasn't got anything. They've lost everything. They're on tax credits. They are on that lower money that they have to live on tax credits.
If I could get an offer, a proposal together, then I can put that to the client and hopefully it will be something they accept.
£200 a day, would that help today?
On an £8,500 balance, I don't think he's going to accept £200 alone.
Okay then.
Alright, bye-bye.
The accountant's offer of £200 is not enough as a down payment. But if Jill can't raise any more, she could lose her livelihood.
My only focus really is the High Court writ. I don't want to ruin her livelihood. That's the last thing I want to do, but the money is owed to the client for one reason or another. I would rather it didn't go to this because ultimately we're going to have to remove goods, which to cover this debt is probably going to close the business down, almost certainly.
After 15 minutes on the phone, Jill still hasn't been able to raise any funds, and Gary's deadline has come and gone.
Do you want to come on here and just start clearing these? We need to get pictures of all this, because some of it's going to be worth something.
As the majority of the stock is low-value costume jewellery, the agents will have to clear most of it out to cover the £8,500 Jill owes.
I was hoping we didn't have to do this.
No, needs must.
But then suddenly, Jill brings out some solid gold from her stock. and phones a local jeweller to find out how much they'll pay for it today.
Right, we've got a load of gold out the window.
What count of gold is it?
It's all 9.
It's 130 grams of gold.
Yeah.
It's about £1,300, isn't it?
Yeah.
Selling the gold would give the agents an acceptable down payment against the debt and keep Jill trading. But Jill would have to take the gold to the jeweller to get the money, which means Gary has to let go of the only assets of any value he has.
This is a judgment call, Jill, based on me making an assessment that you're quite a trustworthy person. Hopefully I don't regret it.
He decides to allow her to take the gold.
I might be proved wrong, but I think it's a risk worth taking because it means we can recover more for the client. That's all the client cares about, is how much we can recover, so I think it'll work in our favour.
Half an hour later, Jill's back, but she hasn't sold the gold.
975 for the whole lot. So you can get more by sending it to the bullion dealers.
Where's the bullion dealer then?
Yeah, we have to post it up and then it comes back tomorrow.
Although she could sell to the jeweller today, Jill claims she can get £1,500 from a bullion dealer if Gary's prepared to wait. He calls the office to see if he can set up a payment plan.
Perhaps 1,500, 200 quid a month, yeah?
Yeah.
Cheers, Gary.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
It's good news.
Rather than take everything now and probably force you out of business, I'm going to do what I can to help you and give you till Friday. Let's set up an arrangement for 1,500.
Yeah.
The reason I'm doing this is because you've held it together as a bit of gratitude, and you could have easily run off with that down the street and never see you again.
I'm honest.
It becomes obvious that somebody's being truthful and honest and forthcoming, and they then gain my trust. It turns the whole visit into a much easier thing to manage. Ultimately, they realise at the end that we're actually there to help.
Jill has 2 days to make her down payment and must pay £200 a month until the debt is cleared.
We're going to do what we think is right because it makes business sense.
I just need you to sign and print there for me, please. Okay.
The matter is resolved for now. But if Jill doesn't stick to the agreement, the agents will be back.
Hopefully this is the last time we meet in a nice way. All right. Not the result that we were expecting when we first thought we were going to be attending a jeweller's.
No, I was thinking...
Sweet, easy.
Yeah, turn up, they'll pay the cash and we'll be gone.
Next time, Max and Aaron get the shock of their lives. A desperate employee tries to stop Paul in his tracks.
They just put the shutter down.
And Matt and Ian meet a mother on the edge.
They're going to get it out there big style.
Catch More Can't Pay will take it away next on Spike, here on Channel 5. From meeting the parents to when to change your social media status. The funny side of love and sex has it all, brand new at 10:30. And later this week, the wealth divide never seemed so far apart. 2 families trade lives in new rich house, poor house, Thursday at 9. Next, NCIS Los Angeles.